I mean, look, all of the stuff that we talk about is like really like edging on the pretentious level because it's just very hard to talk about this in a nice, like natural way, you know.
No,
Like,
I mean, it's not pretentious if it's true, right? I want to know about you creating your own music. How does that work?
um,
Like, what do we imagine? A mad scientist in a dark room with a guitar and a recorder and two laptops and go.
no, okay. Well, it can go between me and my room because that's where the synth setup is now. Um, but a lot of times I'm just like sitting here and just fucking around in Ableton and then doing something I like and then developing that. But I don't know. I don't really have like specific like genre that I'm doing or anything. I'm sure it's also because even though I've been doing this for a few years, I'm still like really finding my sign or my sound
Yeah.
because I already have one, but and it's been like getting more crystallized and more crystallized. But I'm sure I still have like ways to go, you know. But yeah, so I don't know. I just have some mood, and I usually just start to make like one sound or something, and then sometimes it doesn't work, and I just stop. But sometimes it's interesting enough that I start to add more things, and then yeah, let's see where it goes.
Okay.
Yeah, I resample a lot of like Foley recordings. So like Foley recordings that's in like I don't know, like environmental sounds
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
something like that, or just sometimes I make something like synthesize something, just like process it until it's like really fucked up, and if it's good, it's good. If it's not, I don't know. I don't think I'm very conscious about it.
So you don't sit down of like, this is what I want to create
No,
necessarily. You
not
do
usually.
more
Not
of the
usually.
experimenting,
Yeah, I think so.
and then if something grabs you, then you start going off.
I get. Yeah, yeah.
Which
I
is
think so.
actually because I've been thinking about this, and I did a little vlog on this. You know, when you want to create something, and if you're stuck, especially, it's better if you just write down any idea you have. If you just experiment as much as you can,
Mm,
and then at some point something will stand out.
yeah.
It always does, and then you can build on that. But you don't always have to approach something with like a clear plan in mind.
No, I actually, okay, now I realize. So sometimes I sit down and I want to do some specific thing and I start doing that. But then that 99% of the time evolves very quickly into some other direction and like, okay, this is working much better. Like especially when I sit down with a guitar, which I don't do a lot of times.
Mm.
And by the time I finish, like there's almost no guitar in that, you know, like just because I just sit down jamming and then just develops into some completely different direction. But I think that's better. Definitely works better for me.
Interesting, interesting. Now I'm curious about creative styles. Everybody approaches this differently, and there's a variety, but there's a lot of pitfalls that we can fall into.
Mm.
In this endeavor of trying to come up with something out of nothing. Well, technically, it's never nothing because it's always a context in your brain, but
Yeah,
just creating something that didn't exist before in that form. And yeah, it can finding your own style and not being too rigid and oh, this is how other people did it, which we talked about before. Of like not trying to read everything Elon Musk has ever read.
oh
So
yeah, yeah, exactly.
I think it applies to music as well. So you need to figure out stuff that works for you. You're your own set of neurons.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I mean, sometimes, especially in this kind of like more sound designy world, you hear something that's like, oh yeah, I wonder how he did this, and you try to replicate it, and you should probably do it very differently, and probably ends up being very different, but that's enough inspiration to start something, you know.
yeah, yeah.
I think anything can like work like this, but it's good. It's good. It also allows me to really just make always widely different music that still kind of sounds like now it's like coherent in the sense that you know um, there's a certain style, but it's not a genre, it's not a mood or anything. It's just a sound, and that's good.
Yeah, I'm just kind of always was gonna say something deep, but not deep. But I was just gonna laughing at myself of like interestingly in music and in life, sometimes there's a balance between order and chaos.
Yeah. I mean, look, all of the stuff that we talk about is like really like edging on the pretentious level because it's just very hard to talk about this in a nice, like natural way, you know.
No,
Like,
I mean it's not pretentious if it's true, right? But if
yeah, but I think phrasing it is very hard.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know, to not sound like what is it, order and chaos.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know, but it's just basically like you don't want to be, again, coming back to the word rigid. Like, if you don't have any plan at all, you're just gonna end up in a mess. Or at some point, some plan will form, because you can't be in a complete mess all the time. But you also can be just sticking to like, no, nothing else. This is what it has to be, and then I'm not willing to go any other direction. Just this, because that brings you to perfectionism, where nothing.
Yeah. Plus,
You're wasting time.
I always get frustrated. Like recently, I'm making song for my friend's video, right?
Right?
Um, and he sent me some reference tracks. It's a fairly different style from what I usually do. And the first reference track, even though it really worked and I knew what was good in it, I listened to it quite a lot and it really poisoned my mind in the sense that I tried to really get something similar and it wasn't working,
Yeah.
you know? So I think, I don't know why I started saying this, but yeah,
About sticking to something or trying to stick.
yeah, trying to stick to something. So once again, that doesn't work well, right? Because yeah, as I said, it poisons your mind, right? Like it takes over your creative process.
Well, yeah, I'm
I
about
mean,
to
it can be
sneeze.
very good to have a reference.
Oh, that was the most dramatic sneeze.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
getting cut.
yeah.
Maybe not. We'll see how long that took up. How much time?
Like 5 hours, because I'm just gonna talk about this. Yeah, no, I have the craziest sneeze attacks too. Like just like nine sneezes. It's like.
Yeah. That brings me back to my dad. He sneezes once. The windows in the house are shaking. The old school East European dad sneezes. Like it's vocalized. It's chua. Like it's.
He sneezes once a decade with the house full standing.
Yes. We're still rebuilding from the last great sneeze.
Yeah.
Forget about the Great Reset. Your dad's sneezing again.